If you just come here and listen and clap and woo and do whatever and then leave and do nothing with the information, nothing's going to change your life. The key is you have to take one, two, three, five things maximum. You're not going to take more than 5 minutes. There's going to be more than 5 tips I'm going to give you, but you're only going to be able to apply so many. But here's what I'm telling you. If you want to change your life, which I know you do, which is why you're here, you got to actually take action on what I'm teaching. So here's what I'm asking. And people on YouTube or on Zoom, I can't really control whether you're on your phone or not. If you're here and you're not using your phone for notes, please put your phone away. Okay? You've dedicated your time to be here. You dedicated part of your life to be here. I want you to get the most of it. Is that all right?
Yes.
Awesome. So let's start. Here's the first thing when it comes to time and energy management. The mindset. What do I mean by the mindset? If you don't value something, you will not use it well. If you don't value something, you will not use it well. Who here believes money is more than time? Raise your hand. Okay, no one raised their hand, yeah? Because everyone here agrees what time is worth more than money.
Yes.
I'm gonna say you're probably lying. I'm serious. I'm not talking to you specifically, but when I say you, I'm talking about the general population out there. Maybe everyone in this room, maybe everyone on this training actually is telling the truth. But I would tell you that everyone you talk to and you ask them that question, they will say time is more valuable, but they're lying. Because I believe action speaks significantly louder than words. And if they truly value their time more than they value money, then they would use their time more wisely versus, have you seen how people can be so stingy with their money sometimes? But with their time, whatever. Let me give you a very quick example, and I want you guys to do this exercise. This exercise is significant, okay? So please do it. If you're here anyways, please do this exercise. Here's what I want you to do. Take the amount of money you want to make in the next 3 to 5 years. Not right now, whatever you're making right now, God bless you. Hopefully it's a lot, okay? But I want to go on your future time. Let me tell you why I want to do future time. If you act like a person that's making $1 million, you won't make $1 million. If you value and treat your time like a person that makes $5 million, you'll make $5 million. Make sense? So what I want you to do is write down what is your ideal income in whatever timeline you want to look at it. 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. If you're sitting in the front row, pretend like you're writing because I'm a little bit picky. So if I see you're not writing, I'm going to come and pick on you. I'm that type of person. So in order for us to keep a good relationship together, just pretend. I don't care. Okay? Right? Like you do me that favor, I'm doing you that favor. Write down what is the amount of money you would like to make. Okay, it doesn't matter what it is, 100,000, 200, 500,000, $1 million, whatever it is. I'm gonna give you guys 30 seconds to do this. This is very important. If you do this exercise properly, the rest of this training is gonna be very valuable. If you don't, you might miss some things. What is your ideal income? Don't worry about whether you can or can't do it. I wanna play this game with you guys really quick. Okay, does everyone have the number?
Yeah.
Okay, divide that number by 52, because there's 52 weeks in a year. Then I want you to divide it by 40. Assuming the average person works 40 hours a week, divided by 40. So if you wrote down $1 million, that would be $480 per hour. Yeah? Okay. Did you guys get it?
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out just for fun. What are the hours? Some of you. How much is your hours worth?
2,400.
Okay. Someone said 2,400 an hour. Make friends with them. 500. 500. You want to look around the room right now and know who you're going to hang out with in Christmas, okay? 2,800. Okay, awesome. 4,800. He's sitting in the front row. Stand up. He's cute too. Okay? He's married though. He's taken, okay? So you can still be friends with him. Be friends. Christmas is coming up pretty soon in a few months. Right? There's some of your birthdays. My birthday's coming up in May, Dad. $4,800 an hour. Okay. Now look. Now let's go. So you have your hour, right? Okay. How many people do you know? Okay, you might be one of these people that have no problem spending an hour on the phone with someone but won't give them $100.
Yeah.
How many people do you know? A lot of people. Would you agree? Do you know people like that? Okay. Okay. So now you wrote down your hourly rates. Here's what I want you to think about. How much money have you been giving away? Think about it. When you sit down and watch a Netflix show that's an hour long, now you know how much that costs you. It's not, $12 a month or it's $20 a month for Netflix. That hour costs you whatever we wrote down right now. Does that make sense? Now, let me tell you why people value money more than time. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth. Let me tell you exactly why people value money more than time. Because I know they do, because their actions show me that all the time. Because their friend says, can you lend me 500 bucks? Oh, dude, I don't know, 500. But that same friend goes, can you spend 5 hours on the phone with me doing nothing? Dude, all day. Oh, I got all day for you. Let me tell you why that is. Are you okay if I tell you why that is? Yeah. Here's why. We have 6 human needs. We have 6 human needs, and here they are: certainty, uncertainty or variety, significance, connection and love, growth or contribution. Those are the 6 human needs that everyone has. Tony Robbins says, if you find something that meets 3 or more of these needs, it becomes an addiction. If you find something that meets 3 or more of your needs, of your human needs, you will become addicted to it. Okay, listen up, this is important. If you have a good amount of money, whatever that means to you, does that give you some certainty? Does it make you feel secure? Does it make you feel like, okay, I'm gonna be okay if something happens? Yes. Does it allow you to experience some variety by going to trips or enjoying yourself in different ways? Yes. Okay. Does it make you feel significant when your friends go, oh my God, you're so rich, blah, blah, blah? Yes. Does it give you status? If you don't say yes, you're living in the wrong city, because in Vancouver, now some of you might argue, well, Nima, time can give you that stuff. Depends on how you're using it. If you're someone who doesn't have any goals, if you're someone who doesn't have anything to do with their time, your time doesn't meet any of these needs. The only need that your time really meets is boredom. Let's be honest, I'm not trying to call anyone out. If you feel called out, that's your problem. That's not the intention. But the reality is, most people who don't have any goals, who don't have any purpose, who don't have anything that they're aiming for, their time is just whatever, because they can't get anything with it. But with their money, they can get all the 6 human needs. That's why no matter how many people tell you I value time more than money, their actions will always show you that they value money more than time. This is a fact. The reason it's important for you to know this is because if you don't learn to value your time, this session means nothing. If you don't see the value in your time, if you don't see how much your time is actually worth, none of the stuff that I say you're gonna apply. Because a lot of these tangible habits require you to maybe put in some discipline. It requires you to maybe have some consistency. It requires you to do things that you haven't done before. Is that fair? Yeah. So in order for you to really take those actions, you gotta value it. By the way, how many people do you know that'll change for money? Oh, I know a lot of, and I don't mean change in a bad way. I'm not saying, oh, the guy got rich and became me. No. I'm saying they'll become smarter by going and getting courses. They'll work harder for money. Won't they do that? Because they value it so much. And what's the recurring thought in their mind? If I just get enough money, everything will be okay. If I just get enough money, okay. But with time, how often does that happen? If I just use my time better, I'll be okay. You ever heard that before? No. I've never heard of it. But isn't it weird? If you believe it does. Is that fair? So this in my opinion is probably the most important part of the session, because if you don't learn to value your time, none of this stuff matters. Now here's how you learn to value your time. The first thing is you gotta put some goals in place. You gotta have some goals. It doesn't matter what it is. The goal could be to build a better garden in your house. I don't care. But you gotta have a reason you're waking up. You gotta have a reason you wanna use your time better. But you have to have a goal. You have to have a purpose that you're aiming for. The more that goal pulls you emotionally, the more powerful it is. If you have a goal to spend more time with your family, aren't you going to get your work done sooner so you can get home? Oh, yes. When you're home, aren't you going to use that time more wisely with your family? Yes. Even that's a goal. When I say goal, don't think that I'm just talking about some major, like I need to take over the world type of stuff. No. I'm even talking about a small thing like, hey, I want to lose 10 pounds. Hey, I want to spend a little bit more time with my loved ones. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. When you have a goal, when you have that purpose, you value your time because now you want to achieve it.
Yes.
Okay. Here's another one. By the way, there's an empty seat there. Everyone on this row now has to move over because whoever was sitting there is no longer sitting there. Okay. Here's the next thing. You have to sell and you remind yourself why your time matters. Many people have goals, but they don't think about it until January 2025. Okay? A goal that you don't think about means nothing. So you have a goal, here's what you need to do with it. Think about it. Put it on your vision board. Do a goal setting exercise every morning. You need to sell yourself on why it matters to make that goal happen, because then your day will be worth something. Is that fair?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, are we okay to continue?
Yes.
Okay. Next, and by the way, here's my last advice when it comes to valuing your time. The last one, and then we'll go to the next part of this. That calculation that you just did. Okay, some of you said your time is worth $2,000 an hour. Some of you said $4,800. I promise you, if you treat it that way, your life will change forever. Here's what you do now. Next time your friend calls you, the same one that calls you about the same problem every time, you gotta ask yourself, am I okay paying $300 for this call? You gotta ask yourself that question if you're gonna take advantage of what I'm gonna teach you today. You gotta ask. Technically speaking, Dan, based on his hours, is gonna spend about $7,000 today being in this session for an hour and a half. Hopefully it's worth it for you. Right? But I'm being serious. You have to, I swear to God, if you left, your life insurance will pay out immediately. I'm joking. I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm not gonna go to jail. Okay? Anyways. Did you notice that I said it's not that I'm not gonna kill him. I don't want to go to jail. That's not. This is I'm just jokes. These are jokes. If you're new here, I'm joking. Don't call the cops. Okay? I'm a safe, happy, I'm a caring person. But do you guys understand what I'm saying? Next time you're gonna watch that Netflix show, and you go, each episode is an hour, and it's 4 seasons. Each season is 10 episodes. I would like you to, before you click the first episode, I would like you to do the math on how much that show is going to cost you. Because if you do, you might not start the show anymore. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So does this help you? This is what I did, guys, that got me to $1 million a year by the time I was 27. This is what I did. Every time I was about to make a decision, I would ask myself, is this worth $480 for this hour? No. And then I would go do something else. Some of you go, Nima, I never see you party. I never see you going to clubs. What's up? Because I sit down and I go, 7 hours at the club. Not worth it for me. For some of you, it might be not worth it for me. Does that make sense? Yeah. That's my mindset, and I think if you guys duplicate that, you're going to get a lot of great results from it. Here's the next thing now. You got to make a decision to change. You got to make a decision to change. In order to make a decision to change, you have to take 100% responsibility for your life and for your time. You can only change things you're responsible for. If it's someone else's fault, you can't do anything about it. In order to take 100% responsibility for your time, you have to change your self-talk. Here is some of the self-talk that takes away your responsibility and takes away your ability to change in this area. Have you ever heard anyone say this? I don't have time. Yeah. I was having a call with someone today, okay? And I'm on the call with them, like, hey, how come you're not doing your invites? How come you're not prospecting? They go, Nima, I don't have time. I'm like, shit, did they take your 24 hours? I'm like, you only got 21 now? What happened? He's like, no, I mean, like, I don't have enough time to do that. Oh, because I'm like, when you say I don't have time, I thought maybe they took someone away from you. Because to not have something means you've lost it. Yes. I never remember having anything. Can you save time? Guys, I'm gonna open up a savings account for my time. I'm gonna just put it there. Can you do that? You can't. Okay.
Does it carry forward?
Can you lose the amount of time you have? Can you lose the amount of time you have? No. Time is just time. It is. So when the person says, I don't have time, are they taking responsibility? No, they're blaming. What are they blaming? Who the hell knows? I don't think they even know. The universe? Right. Like, who's the blame that you don't have the time? If they say, I'm not managing my time well, or I'm not investing time in this area, now we can work on that. Yeah. Yes or no? But when you say I don't have time, say, well, I just don't have it anymore. I had it yesterday. They took it from me. I don't know. It was there yesterday. Thank you, this section. This is my laugh track. I love it. This side of the room is where my confidence comes from. This side of the room, you guys balance it out, right? Oh man. Okay, are we good though? Okay. So you gotta take that self-talk out. Never again say I don't have time. Here's another thing that people say that kills them when it comes to taking responsibility in this area. I'm so busy. I'm so overwhelmed. Now somebody's sitting there and they go, well, Nima, I'm just expressing how I feel. Okay, when you say I'm so overwhelmed and you're expressing your feelings, what new feelings do you create? Actually think about it for a second. When you say I'm so overwhelmed, what are the feelings that come with that?
Anxiety.
Being overwhelmed, anxiety, stress, doubt, discouragement. Yes or no?
Yes.
So are you expressing or creating?
Creating.
I don't. Good question to ask, though. No, it's a good question to ask. Are you expressing or creating? Because when you use self-talk like this, you're actually creating those feelings. See, when you say I'm so busy, does it help you focus?
No.
When you're sitting to do a task and you're like, oh, I'm so busy today, do you like laser in? Is that what happens? So why do you do it? You know what actually happens? You get anxious, you get discouraged, and you actually stop doing the task you were doing.
Yeah.
And you start contemplating how busy you are, as if that gets shit done. By the way, I swear to God, if this worked, I would do it all day. If saying I'm so busy would stop making me busy, I'm so busy, all day. But it doesn't. You gotta change this up. You gotta become aware of it and then change it.
Yeah.
I was having a mentorship call with a group of people. I had water, and then the water spilled on the computer. And one of the people on the call was like, oh, it's one of those days. I said, no, it's just a bad moment. It's not one of those days. Because if I believe it's one of those days, what am I doing now? I'm putting myself in an emotional state that's going to create one of those days.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And you guys know I'm pretty good at that sometimes. Whoever knows what that means, God bless you. Anyways. But you know what I said instead? I said, it's just a bad moment. And then I went and cleaned up the water and we just continued, and I've had a really great day so far. So, but hold on. You see, this self-talk is everything.
Yes.
Self-talk is everything. And even with time management, self-talk is everything. Because if you want to create more productivity, if you want to have more energy, you got to reduce stress. And what creates stress is some of this stuff. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes.
Here's another one. This is another one that I love. I heard this one today too. For some reason, I don't have... I had someone on the call today. Like, for some reason, I'm just not getting my invites on. I'm like, well, what is that reason? Is it the sun? Is it the stars have lined up on proper? What is that some reason?
Maybe you lost some time.
But what if that person says, you know, I haven't been prioritizing that task. I haven't been managing my time well enough. That's why I haven't been getting to it. Doesn't that make you feel more in control?
Yes.
Just think about you say this. For some reason, I just can't get anything done. How does that make you feel? Think about it. How does this make you feel? You know, I haven't been prioritizing well enough and managing my time well enough to get what I need done. Which feeling will lead to more productivity, less stress, more energy, and better use of your time? 100%. Do you see why this is so important now?
Yes.
This is called being a great coach to yourself or being a terrible coach to yourself. It's right here. Cool?
Yes.
Wonderful. Let's continue. Let's go into some tangible habits. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. I don't want to spend all time on mindset. I want to go into tangible habits right now. Here's the first tangible habit that's going to make you better at managing time. The first is prioritize preparation and planning. Here's a quote that I heard by Jim Rohn that I loved. He says, don't start your day until you finished it.
Yes.
Don't start your day until you finished it. What does that mean? That means plan your day, work it out for yourself before you start it. See how it's going to start, see what's going to happen in the middle, see what's going to happen in the end. Some people go, well, where's the adventure? Why do you need an adventure on Monday? Like, that's because some people are like, isn't that kind of boring? Monday to Friday is meant to be boring. Maybe Saturdays if you really want to go places. Sunday, do whatever the hell you want. Wake up on Sunday and just be like, God, take me wherever you like to take me. But can we at least Monday to Saturday plan and prioritize and do okay?
Yes.
And here's what I'm gonna suggest to you, okay? When you do your to-do list, prioritize it, okay? Prioritize your to-do list, meaning what's the most important tasks that need to get done? What are the other tasks that would be nice to get done? Why is this important? Because, thank you, appreciate it, okay? Why is this, turn this one off. There you go, perfect, so they can see the projector. Okay, why is this important, guys? It's important because some days things happen. They do. On those days that things happen, you better get priority 1, 2, 3, and 4 done. Okay, 5, 6, 7 don't happen, we'll work it out. But 1, 2, 3, 4 has to get done.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yes.
And here's, if you're not licensed, what's priority number 1?
Get a license.
Priority number 1 is book your first 5 meetings. That was a trick question. Okay? I got you. Priority number 2 is get licensed while you're booking your first 5 meetings. Okay? But if you become an associate, maybe even MD, now you have to prioritize license number 1 because you did the field training parts. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna actually talk about that today too. But you gotta prioritize, and the thing that matters the most gets done first. You guys, by the way, who here believes I love academics and that's why I dropped out of university? Raise your hand. Okay, exactly. So I clearly hate, right, licensing, studying, all that. But the passion. Actually, it's such a passion of mine. It's one of my whys on why I became successful. I was like, I'm gonna become successful being a dropout. So everyone that said I can't, I can tell them I told you so, and I said you shouldn't have gone for 4. Anyways, that's a different training, and it's not today's training. But here's the reality of it, everyone. In order for you to get what you hate done, you got to get it done right away.
Yes.
So you know when I would study the license, because I hated it the most when I wasn't licensed? In the morning. In the morning, I woke up, I did whatever I had to do to get ready. My first task was, I'm studying a license for an hour. Because I knew if I don't study that time, I'll find a way to not study it. By the way, something funny that I've noticed. Isn't it interesting? This is kind of a human nature thing. Maybe some of you can relate to it. People always have time for the things they like, but they never have time for the things they don't like. Isn't that weird?
Yes.
Haven't you noticed? They always have time for the things they enjoy doing, but prospecting that might create rejection, I just didn't have enough time today.
Yes.
Licensing, today I just couldn't. Isn't that odd?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, I don't think it's odd. I think it's called human nature. And yes, we're gonna talk about how you can change some of those beliefs to like some of the things you need to like but here's the most important thing: get it done right away. Because if you get it done right away, you don't have any more excuses. Guess when I go to the gym? In the morning. Because if I don't go in the morning, no way I'm going ever. I'm not, because I know myself. But I go in the morning and by the way, let me tell you, when you get that task done that you don't like, do you know how good you feel?
Yes.
When you finish that task that you dread, how do you feel? You're like, thank God. It's like a weight has left off your shoulder. Wouldn't that increase your energy for the rest of the day?
Yes.
100%. But now let's do the other way that most people do it. Let's do it the other way now. Leave it off for the last thing in the day. Here's what your day looks like. I really got to study today. Then you're doing something else. I really got to study today. All day, you're spending time with your family. I really got to study today. Instead of enjoying your day, you have a miserable day. Because that thing that's in the back of your mind is like a freaking tumor, and every minute that goes by, it grows bigger.
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Whether it's your invites, your follow-ups, license, whatever it is that you're avoiding. Here's my recommendation. Do it right away, and your life will change. The quality of your life will change. Because now you can actually enjoy everything else. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to talk about procrastination today too, by the way. I'm not even there yet, but we're going to get there. Okay? Here's the next thing with your to-do list. Check it often. A to-do list that you only do once and never look at again doesn't do much for you. My to-do list, I go back to it often. Why? Because I need to know that I'm on track. Okay? Now, here's the next thing. Don't overdo it. Don't overdo your to-do list. I've seen people's to-do list sometimes that some people are like, Nima, I'm doing everything. I'm doing a to-do list. I'm doing everything, but I'm still having a hard time. I'm like, can I see your to-do list? Here's what their to-do list looks like. Wake up. Get out of bed. Go to the bathroom. Wash face. Brush teeth. I'm like, my friend, this is not a to-do list. This is I don't know what this is actually. I don't, like, and imagine like they're like checking it off while they're brushing their teeth, like, walks to the living room. Oh shoot, I walked into the wrong room. Like, but I'm exaggerating. I don't think I hope no one does it at that level. But the point of your to-do list is not supposed to be that detailed. You know why? Because it's gonna overwhelm you. Because if you look at, I have an organization with over 500 agents, guys. I have a whole Instagram, YouTube, content. My to-do list is like 6 things. Like, do you understand? Like, my to-do list is like maximum 7 things. Do you understand? Yeah. Because I only put the things on there that I need to get done. That I know I need to have on there to get done. I promise you, I'll wake up whether it's on my to-do list or not. I've never had an issue waking up because I didn't put on my to-do list. I'm just gonna sleep in. No, I promise you, I still visit the bathroom in the morning if I have to, whether it's on my to-do list or not. So it doesn't need to be on the to-do list. Does that make sense? Those are just things you're gonna do anyways. Your to-do list are the tasks you need to get done. Does that make sense? I think I got my point across. I don't need to continue. Okay, I'm gonna leave this here. Okay. Here's the next one. Bulk the task and schedule them. So the intermediate, the person who's a little bit above average has a to-do list. The pro bulks their tasks and schedules them. Let me explain to you what I mean by this. I have a certain time where I reply to all my Telegram messages. So I have a certain block in my time. Sometimes, like, honestly speaking, a lot of times in the sauna. I do my workout, I go in the sauna, I'm there for 20 minutes. I'm like, I'm gonna make sure I get all my Telegram messages done in here. If I can get to it, and if my phone doesn't overheat, I'll get to my iMessages too. If it does, we're gonna schedule that for another time. Okay, but do you understand? But I only focus on that task. Meaning, when I'm on Telegram, I'm only on Telegram. Once Telegram is done, then I go to iMessage. If required, I'll go into my DMs too. But I have a certain period in the day where I'm responding to everything. Make sense? Okay. Once that period is done, you're not getting a response from me until the next period. Me and Roman were having a mentorship call, and I was talking to him about this because Roman's good at this stuff. He's disciplined, and he goes, Nima, at the end of the day, I'll check all my messages. I said, bro, you're in a communication business. You can't just check it once. You gotta have 3 times a day where you're checking and responding to messages. Guess what? Immediately he did it. So now he has a slot in the morning where he responds to messages. He has a slot in the afternoon. He has a slot at night. Does that make sense? Yeah. And guess what? And guess what? He responds to me. He's like, hey man, I'm just doing what you told me to do. This is my next slot. Are you surprised that Roman's making 500K a year after 3 years of being in the business? Is that a shock to you? Speed of execution equals speed of growth. Yes. Speed of execution equals speed of growth. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. Anyways, I was gonna say something, but I'm not gonna say it. I'm personally grown. I'm not. Okay. I'm gonna skip this. I was gonna make a joke. I'm not gonna make that joke. Anyways, but does that make sense to everyone? Yeah. We're good. Wonderful. Okay. So here's the thing: bulk your tasks and schedule them. So messages, emails, bulk them put them in a certain time zone. Respond to them. Don't ever think about it again for the rest of the day, or until your next time slot. Okay. If you're doing meetings, when you're in meetings, your phone should be nowhere to be seen. Here's my suggestion: if you want to get licensed, throw your phone away when you're studying the license. Some of you need to hide your phone from yourself. Because this is how you study the license. It's like, oh, Dad. I could make a whole EDM, like break out, like real out of it. This is not studying. This is a waste of time. Because every time you switch tasks, and this is why multitasking doesn't work. Every time you switch tasks, you actually take focus, and it takes 7 to 10 minutes to get focused again. Yeah. Meaning, if you're studying a license, and you have your phone here, and you're looking at it, in that moment that you looked at your phone, now you are losing focus for 10 minutes from studying. Do you understand what I just said? Yeah. So your 1 hour study session is actually 15 minutes. That's why you're not getting licensed. Yeah. Because you're like, I just don't know, I'm studying so much. Really? If I sat down with you, we're gonna see if you're studying or not. I'm not going to, because I have better things to do with my life than babysit an adult who should be doing this themselves. But the reality is, that's gotta go away. Right? Do you need your phone while you're studying a license? No. So here's my motto: if I don't need my phone is nowhere to be seen. You know where my phone is in the meeting? When I'm in a meeting, I don't know. Unless I need to message someone to tell them to get on, my phone has disappeared. Because multitasking does not exist. Do you know why I have such a great closing ratio? Do you know why I'm so good at the business? Because when I'm in a meeting, I'm all in. When I'm in a meeting, that meeting is everything. There's nothing else going on in my mind. My phone doesn't matter. I even close my Telegram apps on my computer, because I don't want a notification to go up. Is that fair?
Yeah.
So bulk your tasks, schedule them. And here's another benefit in bulking tasks. You create momentum. Here's the mistake that people make that makes them so inefficient with their time. They go, okay, I have 5 things I need to do today. And they go, I'm going to do this in the morning, then I'll do this in the afternoon, then I'll do it. And there is no momentum. And because there is no momentum, nothing gets done. Haven't you noticed on the days you have nothing to do, you get nothing done? Like, you know, my Saturdays used to be like that. On my Saturdays, I didn't have that many things, right? So I would be so ineffective on Saturdays. Because I had the illusion that I have so much time, so I kept procrastinating my tasks until I had no more time. Has that ever happened to anyone? Where like, oh, I'll do this in an hour, and then it becomes 2 hours, then it becomes 3 hours. Then before you know it, it's over, and like, I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah. Has that ever happened to anyone?
Yeah.
Okay. So you know how you avoid that from happening? You bulk your tasks. Meaning, if you have a full day where it's empty mostly, and you have 5 tasks, get all those 5 tasks done within a 3-hour time span. And then enjoy the rest of your day.
Yes.
Because when you have that momentum, you're way more productive, you're way more focused, and you get things done, and you get them done with way more quality. Yes. Is that clear for everyone? Yeah. So if you guys see how I schedule myself, I'll have like 5 meetings back to back, then I'll have a period or block where I'm either calling people or I'm planning a training or whatever I'm doing. And that's what's happening in that block of time. Is that clear?
Yeah.
So bulk your tasks so you can create momentum in your day. Because again, if you keep switching tasks, you're losing focus. And my suggestion is creative tasks, you bulk them separately. Meetings, you bulk them separately. Responding to messages or emails, you bulk them separately. Cool? We're good?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when it comes to to-do lists, we got more because this is an important topic, but you got to do it right for it to work. Don't forget the 4 quadrants when you're preparing your to-do list and when you're thinking about what you should prioritize and what you shouldn't. This comes straight from 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. So here's what Stephen Covey says when it comes to task management. Okay? By the way, isn't that a great title? 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yeah.
Please read that book if you haven't already. But this is one of the habits that he talks about. So he says there's 4 quadrants of tasks that we have in our day. Everyone is going to be on the same page. The first is urgent and important tasks. The second is not urgent but important tasks. The third is urgent but not important tasks. The fourth is not urgent and not important tasks. We're going to go through them one by one together. Have you ever noticed, maybe it hasn't happened to you, but you might know someone, that your life kind of looks like this? You feel like you're just spinning around yourself. You're like, the days are going by, the weeks are going by, the months are going by. I seem to be busy, but I'm not moving in any direction. Nothing is happening. Anyone feel like that ever in their life? Anyone know anyone that feels like that? This is called everyone, by the way. This is what we call the rat race. Yes. The rat race is this race that's never ending. You go, Nima, well, how does this happen? Very simple. All their time and all their day is here. All their time and all their day is urgent and important tasks. Their job, urgent and important. Picking up someone, urgent and important. Yes or no? Yeah. Okay. All their day is spent on urgent and important. That's why they get stuck and they never make it through. This happens in WFG too. If you go, how come this person gets stuck at 100K? How come this person gets stuck at 250K? How come this? It's because they get stuck in urgent and important tasks and they don't break through anymore. Make sense? Because let me tell you something. Breakthroughs can only happen in this area. The only place you will ever find breakthroughs in your life is tasks that are not urgent but important. Not urgent but important tasks is where all the breakthroughs are. This session is not urgent but important. Would you die if you didn't come to this session? Would you lose something if you didn't come to this session that you already have? No. So it's not urgent, but it's so important. Yes. Because you might learn something that could change your life forever. Yeah. You might have already learned it. Reading, is that important? Yes. Is it urgent? No. Okay, that's why most people don't read, and that's why they're not learning anything new to grow. Calling your team members Is important, yes?
Yes.
Is it urgent?
No.
No, most people in WFG don't call their team members. They're too busy running the meeting that's urgent and important. They're too busy doing, does that make sense?
Yes.
Breakthrough happens in not urgent but important. Me throwing a party for you guys, is that important?
No.
Okay, thank you for saying that, Robson. No more parties. Done. You guys don't, when you come to parties, you don't feel more as a team. You don't feel like, because if you don't, trust me, I don't need to spend $3,000 per party. We can cancel them from now on. Is that okay? Okay. How about contests? Are contests important? Okay. Are either of those urgent though? No. Not urgent, but important tasks is where breakthrough happens. Not urgent, but important tasks is where breakthroughs happen. So here's the thing. I'm going to show you guys some examples of people in our business. Is that okay? Not actual examples of them as human beings, but you'll see what I'm talking about. But when you're doing your to-do list, you need to ask yourself, how many of my tasks are urgent and important? How many of my tasks are not urgent but important? How many are urgent but not important? And how many are not urgent and not important? And here's the thing, if you can eliminate these two, you're good to go. I've done a very good job of eliminating these two. That's why at such a young age, I've been able to accumulate so much success. That's it. I'm not necessarily smarter. I'm not necessarily more disciplined. I'm not necessarily that much of a better work ethic than a lot. I know a lot of people that have crazy good work ethic, but they're not getting anywhere because this is all their work ethic is going to. Make sense?
Yeah.
What I've done really well though is I learned how to work smart by getting rid of this and focusing all my time on this and mostly on this as much as I could.
Understand.
Yes. Okay, now let's go over it with our business so you guys can better understand, because sometimes you're like, Nima, what exactly quantifies as which one? Okay, let's talk about it. So let's say you're not licensed or part-time. If you're not licensed or part-time, or usually probably both, you want to pay attention to this part. Cool? By the way, I have no problem sharing my notes with you after.
Please.
Right? But I need you to focus because focus is everything. Again, by the way, guys, let me tell you guys why I don't like taking notes in trainings. If you like taking notes, take it. Let me tell you guys why I never take notes in trainings, because I'm switching between tasks. Make sense? If I'm going to my notes to write something and then I'm drawing something at the end here because I get distracted by my notes, right? I stop listening to the speaker. If you like taking notes and it helps you focus, take notes. But have you ever heard me go, please take notes? Has that ever happened in any of our sessions?
No.
Okay, why? Because taking notes can be a distraction. I'm curious to know right now, because there's note takers that are like getting pissed off. I'm talking to you now. How many times did you review your notes from the last session? Because you're fired up, you're like, but my notes! How many times did you review it? I'm curious to know. I'm willing to bet. I got money, so I can bet. Let's go gamble. Okay? I'm down to gamble. You name the price, I'll do it. I'm willing to bet that almost out of 100 people, if 99 of them take notes, one of them maybe looks at it one more time in their life. In their lifetime. In their lifetime. You know how I know? I got books full with notes and they're eating dust. They're dust collectors. They're not even notebooks anymore. And I would assume that probably most people relate to me. So my suggestion is, if you're here, focus. Unless writing notes helps you focus. Some people are like that, and if you're like that, then that's fine. Good?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Urgent and important. Here are the tasks that are urgent and important for this specific person that is not licensed or part-time or both. Their job. Isn't a job urgent and important?
Yeah.
Okay. School. Isn't their school urgent and important?
Yeah.
Yes. Taking care of their dependents, kids, older parents, and pets. Isn't that urgent and important?
Yeah.
Okay. Why is it urgent? Because if you don't do it, things are going to go bad.
Yeah.
If you don't go to your job, bad things can happen, okay?
Yeah.
If you don't take care of your kids, I think we get the point now, okay? Take care of your kids, please. Okay? These are someone's like, was a YouTuber? I was like, what happens? You have a kid, buddy. I don't know. This is going live on YouTube. He's joking, okay? Anyways, let's move on from that. Okay, so those are the urgent and important tasks of this specific person, yes? Here's the urgent but not important. Urgent but not important. Okay, please focus on that. Doing errands for family and friends. Chores. If you're a housewife or you're someone whose job is to do chores, okay, that could be urgent and important. If you're in business, how many of you have been paid for cleaning your room here? I'm curious to know. How many of you have checked your WFG commission statements and you're like, dude, I just got paid for cleaning the dishes for the 8th time today. Wonderful. Has that happened? Oh, because you haven't done that, right? You haven't cleaned your room 8 times so you don't have to study. I'm just saying, like, look, I'm not trying to call anyone out. Let me just go clean one more time. You've been paid for that? Is there an adjustment side of it? No? Okay. So that's why it's not important. How many of you get paid by your family to do their errands for them? Here's what I'm curious to know, because some people go, my family really needs me. If you move to a different country, what happens to your family? They just fall apart? Maybe for some of you they might. But from my experience, they figure out a way because they're smart people, they're adults, and they find a solution to their problem. The reason you're the solution is because you're so easy to be a solution. They know how to guilt trip you, they know you're a people pleaser, and they love taking advantage of it. If I'm hitting some soft spots, let me keep hitting. I'm totally comfortable with it. Right? I'm not forcing you to stay here, leave, I don't care. But I'm just saying, when you make it so easy for them, they'll keep putting tasks on you, right? Before you know it, you're an executive assistant to your family. And by the way, here's the funniest part. They're gonna come and actually talk shit to you when you don't make money here. Oh, I just wonder why you've been doing this for this long and you're not this, because I've been your executive assistant and you're very demanding. Have you said that in response or no? No, okay. Anyways, that's urgent but not important. Make sense?
Yes.
Meaning it needs to be done right away, but is it really that important in relation to your goals?
Right.
No. Okay, here's the next one. Not urgent and not important. This is my favorite category. Scrolling through social media, Netflix, video games, whatever other stupid things that we do that don't do anything for us or anyone else, okay? We all do it. I'm not perfect, by the way. By the way, one thing I need to step in here and say, if you thought I'm perfect with my time management, I'm not, I promise you that. I'm also getting better, okay? And there's areas that I need to improve on. So I'm not here to be like, I'm perfect, be like me. No. We're all human. We have very good days and here's what I can tell you though. I have way more good days than most people do. Meaning out of a 30-day month, my productivity compared to the average person is significantly higher, but because I've been practicing these habits. But still, some days I might slack a little bit more than I should, and then I pick it back up. And I'll tell you guys how I pick it back up so fast and why it's so good. And I'm gonna talk about that in a second. Hanging out with friends. This is gonna trigger some people. Are you saying hanging out with my friends is not important? Yeah. Yeah. In relation to your goal, it's not important. Again, have you hit your goals because you hung out with your friends all the time? No. So it's not important. But what about socializing? Dude, Sunday, great day for socializing. Monday to Saturday, great day for making your goals happen. So you have something to socialize with.
Yes.
Some of you got that. Okay, because does that make sense? I get it. It was fun walking around the park for the 10th week in a row. Let's get some money so we can do something a little bit more fun. Let's rent a bike maybe this time. Okay? But I'm just saying, I'm being honest with you guys, this is not a urgent or important matter. And by the way, let me tell you something. This was one of the areas that I reduced significantly on why I became successful. And nothing bad happened in my life by doing this. But you know what did happen? I actually became a lot more positive because I had some people around me that were a little negative.
Yeah.
Weird. I actually started to think bigger because I had some people that were pulling me down and giving me limiting beliefs.
Right.
I don't know. It worked out for me, so maybe it'll work out for you. Here's what's not urgent but important for this person, business activities. Okay? Because guess what's going to get them out of that rat race of their job? The businesses. Yes or no? Have you ever had a team member who hates their job, right? They just hate their financial situation. You know they can do it. You know they got what it takes to be successful in business. But as soon as they sneeze, the first thing that goes is business.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do this anymore. I just sneezed. I don't know if it's for me. You coughed. Relax. Go for a walk. Isn't that weird though? The thing that we're willing to throw out the first is literally our lifeline. God forbid their job goes. The business though, I don't know. I just don't know anymore. I sneeze. Some of you are not laughing. You're some of these people then. I'm not totally comfortable with it. But that's not a good strategy because this is the thing that's supposed to get you out of that place. Make sense? What else is a not urgent but important activity for this individual? Personal development habits, gratitudeless, meditation, exercise, reading, whatever you fit into this category that helps you. Here's another one. Accountability or staying in contact with your mentor. not urgent, but important. Sure, you don't have to call me back or your mentor back, but how many times have you done it and it really changed your state of mind? It put you in a better headspace. It made you more productive. Not urgent, but important. Okay? Studying the license. This is an example of a person who's not licensed, right? Studying the license, not urgent, but very important. Attending trainings and meetings. This would be all the categories. Here's what I would say. How much is this prioritized in your to-do list? Because if you really want to get out of your situation, this better be the number one priority. What if I lose my job? I promise you I'll find another one. Right? But you may not have to if you make this the number one priority and you can actually have your own business and be full-time and have freedom. Yes or no?
Yes.
We're good so far? Is this helpful?
Yes.
Okay. Now full-time and license. So now we're talking to our full-time people right now, and there's a lot of them here. So here's what's urgent and important, and now you'll see the difference, right? Now, urgent and important for a full-time and licensed person is their business activities, because that's what's making them their money. Yes or no?
Yes.
It's their admin work unless someone already hired, which you should hire someone ASAP if you don't have someone hired. By the way, is it okay if I do a little bit of math for you guys really quick? By the way, everyone in our team is very good with this. Okay, I've made sure of it. Okay, you have admin, and I respect you for being an entrepreneur. But let's do some math. Let's say right now you spend 5 hours a week on admin work. Let's say, okay? 5 hours a week. How many meetings can you do in 5 hours? 5. Okay, let's just say 5. In our business, we can even do more than that. We could do 10 if you do 30 minutes per meeting. Storai does 30 minutes per meeting. She can do 10. But let's say it's 5. Okay, so this is times 4 weeks, right? So how many meetings is that? That's 20 extra meetings you could be doing. If you pay someone in admin, let's say $20 an hour, just as an example, how much is that per week? We got a lot of financial planners, and I hope this, okay. That's $100 per week, which is $400 per month, yes?
Yes.
Out of 20 meetings, how many do you think you can close? Some of you can close 6, 7, 8, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you're just terrible. Let's say you're in an awful market, okay? And you only close 1. You're just a special case here. That's okay, we love you anyways, but let's say that's who you are, okay? What's the average points per policy, guys? On a worst case scenario, for our team it's 4,000, but on a worst case scenario, let's say it's 3,000. At an MB contract, that's how much? $1,500. Is that a good investment for all you financial professionals? $400 and get $1,500 back?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
By the way, it's not just the hours. How much stress does admin work cost you? How much pain does it cost you? Okay. By the way, I've talked about this, and my English just kind of skipped out on me for a second. I've talked about this with my MDs and SMDs before, but I want to bring it up to you guys. You guys are in Disney World Financial Group. Let me explain. There's traditional business. You know what traditional business is? You get into $400,000 of loan, open up a coffee shop, you pay a bunch of workers before knowing if you have any customers. So there's people in your coffee shop standing around and you're like, I hope customers come. And you pay them hourly for waiting there with you. Okay? And you get into $400,000 of debt, and that debt has interest.
Yeah.
Cool? That's traditional business. It takes about 5 years to get your money back, and then you start getting profitable if you don't go bankrupt before that. That's traditional business. Does that happen in World Financial Group? Never. Never. You barely have any over. You know what I hear some MDs say? Just wait until I have even more clients, then I'll get admin. Can a coffee shop owner do that? Can a donaire owner do that? Basil, can a donaire? Okay. That's World. That's World Financial Group. It's called a donaire shop, no? I don't care. Whatever. Whatever. You get a sandwich. Okay. Same thing. Anyways, some people are assuming like, what's going on? Okay, hold on. Let's bring it back, guys. Let's bring it back. So that's traditional versus World Financial. And then we have Disney World Financial Group, which is our team. Disney World Financial Group is when you take a week off because you don't feel like it, me or someone else in the hierarchy calls your team members and runs your business for you. Right? That's Disney World Financial Group. It means when you don't have an admin, we let you use our admin. Right? Without any cost to you. That's called Disney World Financial Group, right? You need to, if you treat Disney World Financial Group like traditional business, you'll become so rich you won't know what to do with it.
Oh yeah.
Right? In traditional business, if you're sick and don't feel like going to work, guess what? You go to work because that debt that you have, you need to service that debt with interest.
Yes.
If you have a bad day, today I just don't feel like working. I'm just in one of those moods right now. You still go to the coffee shop because if you don't, you're out of business and you owe a lot of money to the bank.
Yes.
And out of business means bankruptcy. But in Disney World Financial Group, today I'm just in a bad mood. Can you call me and mentor me for free and just tell me about how great I am? And then when I feel when I feel better, maybe I'll do nothing still. But let's see. That's Disney World Financial Group. Welcome. Good to have you with us. Enjoy the rides, please. Our laptop is broken. Somebody turn master off. Anyways, let me continue. I'm done. That was the last one. Sorry. I'm done. Okay, I'm done. That was it. Take care of dependents. Kids, older parents, and pets, right? That's also urgent and important, okay? What's urgent but not important? Doing errands for family and friends, chores, dealing with people problems or drama, right? What's not urgent and not important? Again, the stuff that I already mentioned, that's still the same. What's not urgent but important? Personal development habits, accountability and staying in contact with your mentor, attending trainings and meetings, calling team members, doing team events and extra trainings. This would be the urgent. This is what breaks you through. This is how you go from 50K to 100K, 100K to 250, 250 to 500, 500 to 750, 750 to a million. This is the breakthrough activities. Make sense? If you can do a lot of this and you can do a lot of this business activity, you're going to get so rich you won't know what to do with it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, are we good so far?
Yes.
Okay, should I continue?
Yes.
Okay, I got to go a little faster. Okay, here's the next thing, guys. Parkinson's law. The more time you give to complete a task, the longer it will take you to complete it. Yes. Parkinson's law, the more time you give to a completed task, the longer it will take you to complete it. What does this mean? It means give yourself deadlines for tasks and get them done on that deadline. You know what helps here? Reward and punishment. If you get it done in the time that you gave yourself, reward yourself with something. If you don't, punish yourself with something. Maybe push-ups, whatever it is. But you have to give yourself deadlines. Because here's what I found. If you give yourself 2 hours to do something, it will take you 2 hours. That's what Parkinson's law is all about. Yes. If that same task, you give yourself 45 minutes, you'll get it done in 45 minutes. Yes. Does that make sense to everyone? Yes. Here's the next thing. Avoid time and energy thieves. Avoid time and energy thieves. Here's the first one and the worst one. Social media apps, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever the hell it is. Email and messages, phone calls. Phone calls for fun, not for business, it's fine. But if you're just calling people just to chat, a waste of time. All of a sudden you get on the phone with a friend 2 hours later. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what I did, guys. First of all, I turned off all the notification on my social media apps. By the way, social media is part of my business, just like many of you. Yes or no?
Yeah.
I turned off the notification so I only go on it in the time that I've allocated.
Yeah.
Make sense? By the way, if you've noticed, I don't really like many people post because I don't scroll through Instagram. I don't. I'm sorry if this breaks some hearts. Okay? But I genuinely do not scroll. Guess how many stories I look at every day? One, my own. To make sure to upload it and then I leave. I could care less what anyone else is doing. I'm sorry, this might be offensive to some of you. I really don't care. I don't care what you're eating. I don't care why you're eating. I don't care I don't care. And if you post something and you're in my business and that you shouldn't be posting, somebody will tell me. I don't need to look. Okay, oh, get me. Does that make sense? Yeah. So my social media is being used by me. I'm not being used by it. Right. Does that make sense? My Explorer page barely gets used. Because I go on there, I'm like, what the hell am I doing with my life? And then I get off of it. And I go, here's the only parts of my Instagram that get used. DMs, my profile. That's it. Explorer page is unknown to me. Me scrolling through stuff is unknown to me. If you see me like something of yours, I got lucky. I just went on, I'm like, oh, cool, boom. And I probably didn't look at it. No, I'm sorry. I haven't watched the reel. If you send me funny memes, here's what I can tell you. Over the last 2 years, I haven't watched any of your funny memes. If you DM me on it, I did like it. I put a laughing emoji because I don't want to hurt your feelings. I did not watch it. This is where we talk about. This is where the truth comes out. Some of you need to know. Some of you send me motivational stuff. I have not watched a minute of it. When you send me motivation, I'm like, dude, I am the motivational. Like, why are you sending me? Send me my reel, I'll watch it. Don't send me some other. Don't send me the competitor's reel. Why would I look at the competition? Right? But if you have an experience where you send me stuff over the last 2 years, I like to tell you now, I did not watch it. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I got shit done instead. Okay? And by the way, I had a friend who used to send me stuff, right? Like funny stuff. And I'm like, and I said, hey brother, before I block you, can you stop sending me stuff? Guess who that was? My cousin who's like my older brother. I love him. I'm like, dude, you need to stop. Like, this is not. I'll WhatsApp you from now on if this doesn't stop. He's like, okay, I'm stopping. Watch comedy on my free time. I don't want to go on when I'm on my DMs, I'm on my DMs for business. I'm not there for anything else. Is that clear for everyone? Yeah. Okay. Here's my suggestion. Put your friends in the general inbox, put your business people and prospects in the primary one. They say no, go to general. Oh, yeah. I'm not interested. General, you are. I am interested. Move you back to primary. Okay? It's for business. It's for business. Guess how many times I've been on TikTok? Never. TikTok started shadow banning me. Like, I went from like having 700 views to like 10. I don't even know what happened. I'm not even on there. I'm like, do whatever you want. It's automatically being uploaded. I don't even know who's here. I swear to God, I've never spent more than 2 minutes on TikTok. And I have a TikTok account that gets uploaded stuff on it. What am I gonna go there? I had a friend, I'm gonna say this and then I'll move on. I had a friend who's like, I'm like, hey man, why are you on TikTok so much? He's like, I'm learning about stocks. I'm like, you don't have money. What are you gonna do once you learn it? I'm like, you should learn about stocks if you have money to invest into stocks. I'm like, you don't have money. So maybe get off TikTok, go make money, then I'll come teach you myself. And it's longer than 7 seconds. What I found that it takes longer than, how many seconds is TikTok? Who even knows? Was that a different app? Who cares? Anyways, we're good, wine, whatever, I don't know. Let's move on. Turn off notifications, we talked about this. Schedule time when you reply to DMs and messages. Schedule time, we talked about this already, right? So that doesn't happen. Only spend time on hobbies such as Instagram, TikTok, etc. once all your work and to-do list tasks are completed. Does that make sense? Yeah. Isn't that what normal people do anyways? They go to a job 9 to 5 and then they go home and they watch Netflix. Yeah. Can you also get your job done, get your tasks done, and then go and do whatever you want to do for fun? Yeah. I'm not against having fun. Go have fun. But get your shit done before you have fun. Yeah. Because here's what I found. When you don't get your stuff done and you're having fun, you're not actually having fun. Yeah. When you're sitting there watching my Netflix and you're like, dude, I really didn't do my invites yet. I haven't done my accountability message. I haven't studied my license. You really enjoy that show while you're doing that? No. When you go out with your friends and you're hanging out, you're like, dude, I should really be studying the license. Does that make you have fun? No. I'm just saying, I think fun is a lot more fun when you get what you need to get done. Yeah? So just like even a regular employee at a regular job, if you were working at Starbucks, you can't go on Instagram in the middle of your job. Especially if it's a busy Starbucks. Thank you. Wrong light. We can move that light switch. Are we okay though? Yeah. Awesome. Okay, let's go. That helped to move me from this task to a different one. Thank you. Send this okay, we already talked about the primary messages one. We're done. Throw your phone away. We talked about that. Here's another one. Slow decision making. Slow decision making kills your energy and kills your time. Change. Make a decision right away and move on. You know what happens when you have a lot of decisions in queue? What happens if you have a phone and there's a lot of apps open? How does that phone work? Not so well. The battery gets drained a lot faster. It slows down. It doesn't work as well. When you have a bunch of things that you said, I'll think about it too, that's what you're like. Get rid of them. Say no faster. Here's one of the best skill sets that this is one of the things that I'm naturally gifted at, saying no. Ever since I was a kid. I was born with, there was many things that I wasn't born with, but I was born with, I think when I came out and the doctor was trying to make me cry, I'm like, no, bro, I'm not crying for you, right? That's one of the reasons I'm successful, though, is because I have no problem saying no to people. There's a lot of really good people out there, really good people, caring, nice people that are ruining their life because they can't say no. Yeah. And you're not helping them and you're not helping. The best way to help another person is by helping yourself first. Yes. right? You have a friend you want to help, get rich and give them money. That's the best help.
Yeah.
Seriously, how many of that person's friends can give them $5,000 anytime they want? Be that person. Look, anyone can help someone move. It's not that special. Anyone can help someone, clean up their kitchen or whatever. It's not that special. How many people do you know that can just give someone $10,000 because they ask? Seriously. I don't have that many close friends because I like to keep my circle small. I have a lot of great friends. All of you are my family. I don't even put you in the friends category. You're like my family. But seriously, it's true. But I don't have that many close friends. But guess what? All my close friends feel really good for having me as a friend because they know if I have some financial problems, dude, he's gonna take care of it. No, I'm just kidding. Your family. I'm just kidding. No, you can. Of course you can. All of you, but do you guys understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Be that valuable to the people around you. Make sense? Be the type of person. Anyone can help their dad or their mom with a chore.
Yeah.
Be the type of person that retires their mom or dad.
Let's go.
Right? Anyone can help their mom and dad, with babysitting or with whatever they need done. Yes or no?
Yes.
Be the type of person that their mom or dad says, dude, I really need $50K. No problem. It's in your account. Isn't that more value? In order to get that level of value, though, you need to say no to those little things.
Yes.
And I had to say a lot of no's to many people that I loved and cared about in order to get to a place where I can say yes to a lot of things that no one else can. I'm going to say that one more time. I had to say no to a lot of people that I loved and cared about for a very long time so that I could finally say yes to things that no one else could say yes to them. Yes. Like giving them 100K, giving them 200K, giving them whatever they needed financially or whatever else it was. Yes. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. That's a decision you make, and it's a temporary sacrifice for long-term happiness for everyone involved. Yes. Cool?
Yes.
Awesome. Winners make decisions quickly and change them slowly. So get into that habit. Avoid procrastination. Is it okay if I teach you about procrastination and avoiding it really quick? And then we're almost done. Here's the thing. The reason you procrastinate is because the thing you're procrastinating in your mind brings stress to you, is difficult, or it's overwhelming. Because you're intimidated by the task, you procrastinate it. By the way, part of that intimidation could be boredom. Like doing your taxes isn't hard necessarily, but it's boring. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Am I boring any of you guys so far? Okay, good. Just making sure. So here's the thing. You need to change how you feel about the task in order to ensure you don't procrastinate on it. Now, this is the first step. But here's the thing. This might be a harder one. I'm going to teach you some easy ones too. Is that okay?
Yes.
But let's go into it first. Okay. So here's what this chart is for anyone that's seeing it for the first time. Anything that happens gets filtered through our belief system. That belief system creates a certain feeling or emotion within us. That feeling or emotion dictates our behavior or action, which will dictate our results. Did you get that first? Did you get that or no?
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example. Somebody punches you in the face, okay? That punch goes to a certain belief system. The belief might be, I can't believe they punched me. This is insane. I'm gonna freaking kill them. And then your behavior is you attack them back, and the result is a lawsuit, jail, or whatever.
Yeah.
Another person gets punched in the face, and their belief system is that person's crazy. They have issues. What the hell is going on here? And they move away from that person and they call the cops because their feeling is kind of weird curiosity, fear, whatever. And the behavior leads to them not being harmed, but the other person getting a just punishment. Make sense?
Yeah.
So the event happens to everyone. The result, the way you behave to that event is determined by your belief system that create the feelings of it. Make sense? So let's talk about another one, licensing. Okay, licensing is a potential event. It's an upcoming event for you, let's say. I have to study the license, blah, blah, blah. If your belief system is, I love learning, I'm curious to pick up some new information that I didn't have before. What is your feelings or emotions about studying that license? Excitement. What else? Okay, someone on this side before you fall asleep. What is an emotion of this? This is my laugh track. Someone here that has any emotion or life in them. Okay, I'm joking. I love you. I'm kidding. Okay, some of you are just on your phone, which is awesome. Okay. Anyways, what is the feeling? Like this, I'm gonna have to this side of the room. We have to talk about. Okay, what would be the feeling or emotion if your belief is I can't wait to study because I love learning new things and curiosity? Like, give me one emotion.
Happy.
Thank you. Awesome. Happiness. Okay. What are the chances you're gonna procrastinate on that now? None. Because why wouldn't you do something that makes you feel good? Now, what if your belief is licensing is hard? Licensing makes me feel like I'm stupid. I just don't understand. It's so boring. So dry. Okay, if that's your belief, what are the feelings? This side of the room first, please. Sadness, anxiety, okay, discouragement, doubt. Thank you so much. Okay, what is the behavior now? Are you going to study or are you going to procrastinate? Of course you're going to procrastinate because you're a smart person. Why would you go through all that? But it's true. So here's the thing. If you change your belief, it'll eventually change the feeling and emotion. And it'll make it a lot easier to do. Now, here's how you change that. I'm not saying you have to fake loving the license, but here's what you can't say. Okay, I hate my job significantly. In order for me to stop going to that place that is ruining my life, I gotta do this thing that is boring to me. So, I have hope. My feeling is hope. My feeling is faith. My feeling is a ticket to my freedom. Yes? Now, what's going to be my behavior? I'm going to go and cash in on that ticket to my freedom.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to study that license to pass it. Makes sense? It doesn't have to be you fake loving it. It just has to be you have to change the belief around it. Makes sense?
Yeah.
Instead of it causing you pain, what else is causing you pain? And this is where we go to pain, pleasure, perception. This is the number one tool of the self-motivated individual. If you ever wonder, why are some people just so driven, so self-motivated, and other people are not? This is why. Those people have an ability to use this where those other people have not trained themselves on using this. The pain, pleasure, perception. Do you understand what this is? Here's what this is. Your ability to perceive pain to not doing something you're supposed to do, or to see pleasure in something that you didn't want to do initially. Does that make sense? So let me give you an example. Prospecting can make some people feel what? Bad, because there might be rejection with it. Yes or no?
Yeah.
They might get a response that they don't like. Yes or no? They might get into a situation that is maybe a little bit awkward, a little bit, yeah, okay, good? Okay. So if the person focuses on that, what are they gonna feel? A lot of anxiety when it comes to prospecting. Here's what the self-motivated, driven person does in that moment. They go, you know what? I hate this. I hate prospecting. I hate socializing. But you know what I hate more? Being broke. You know what I hate more? Not winning the next contest. You know what I hate more? Not being the person that I know I can be for my family. Let's go prospect. Done. Then you go prospect. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Here's another way you do it. You go sit there and you go, dude, I really don't like prospecting. But you know what I do like? Being on a yacht with my friends, having a full bank account, never having to stress about money again. This is the pleasure side. And that pushes you to go into it. Make sense? Your ability to trigger this within, in that moment where you want to avoid a task, you got to go, if I avoid this, I'm going to be so stressed for the rest of the day. I'm not going to get anything done. Oh, it's going to be so, okay, let me just do it anyways. I know I don't want, that's called tapping into that pain. Yes or no?
Yeah.
You're going to go do that task, so you don't think, I just don't want to do this. But when I do it, I'm going to feel so good. When I get this done, it's going to be awesome. And I get to spend time with my friends and not have to worry about this. Okay, let me go do it. Boom. Do you understand? This is a tool. This is a self-motivated, driven person's tool. If you train this muscle, if you start using it, it's going to take you to the next level, I promise you. Is that okay?
Yeah.
By the way, that's what your mentor does when they call you. I just don't know if I just don't feel like inviting. And then what do? They tell you about the positive consequences of inviting.
Yeah.
They remind you about the pain of not doing it. Yes or no?
Yes.
In order to be a great entrepreneur, you have to learn to be a great boss to yourself. Because in Disney World Financial Group, someone's gonna call you and motivate you. In the real world, no one does. Then you know what happens in the real world when you have a bad day? When you don't feel like opening your coffee shop, you know what happens? The coffee shop next door comes and goes, hey, it looks like your business is gonna go down soon. Can I buy it for 60% cheaper than what you paid for it?
Yep.
And they're gonna laugh every single day when they sell your coffee because they just took out the competition. That's the real world. In Disney World Financial Group, somebody calls in and goes, bro, it's okay, come back up, you can do it. Yes or no?
Yes.
Be grateful for what you have. Because a lot of people go to see if the grass is greener on the other side. I was one of those people, and when you realize it's freaking shitty out there, you're like, oh, this was the best grass, and you come back. Trust me. Trust me on that. Are we okay so far?
Yes.
Here's the next thing. Start, the hardest part is starting. Start, the hardest part is starting. I missed out on my own grammar. Okay, start. If you want to avoid procrastination, just start. Just start. You hate licensing, just open up the licensing book. Okay, if you don't mind, just can you get off your phone, sorry. Okay, because I gotta say that at some point, because it gets to me mentally, right? Okay, anyways, Starting is the main point. Make sense? Starting is the main point. You know what I mean by this? You don't want to study the license, just open it up. Just sit in front of it. Be like, I'm not going to study, I'm just going to sit in front of it. And then read a word. And then you'll be studying with it before you know it. Trust me when I tell you this. Look, guys, I don't love going to the gym all the time. Most of the time, I don't like going to the gym at all, okay? I don't. I go. But you know what I do? I go, dude, I'm just going to go. I'll go for a quick 15-minute workout. Then I go to the gym. Then I do some push-ups. I do some pull-ups. I'm like, you know, I'm here anyways. Let me just do some chest. And I go. And then by the time I'm done, it's been a nice, good workout. I go to the sauna after. I feel great after. Start. If you start, procrastination dies. Just start. Right? On those days you don't want to prospect, just pick up your phone and just text someone. Just start calling someone. Just go out there and talk to someone. You know what I used to do when I used to invite a lot of people in person? I would just go, I'm just going to go say hi to them. I'm not going to invite them. I'm just going to say hi. Hey, I'm here anyways. Let me say, how are you? How are you? They just asked me how I am. Let me just ask them back. Before I know it, I've invited them. I got their number and I left. Just start. Make sense? And when you start that engine, it's a lot easier to change direction. It's a lot easier to speed up. Cool? Okay, that's the number one. If there was one thing, is that, and can I share something with you on this? Every successful person feels that resistance that you feel. Everyone. Every success. Think about the most disciplined person you know. Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay? Pretty disciplined guy, yeah? Okay. I promise you that guy feels a bit of resistance before he gets on a treadmill. I promise you that. What he does though, he uses the pain, pleasure, perception and starts anyways. I promise you, before he goes into another gym workout after 20 years, whatever career he's had, maybe 30, I don't even know how long it's been now, right? I promise you he feels a little bit of resistance, but he goes anyways. By using pain, pleasure, perception, by just starting. Make sense? So successful people feel just like you. The only difference is their feelings are irrelevant to them. That's it. The difference between somebody who never does anything that they need to do and someone who doesn't is how relevant their feelings are. What does this mean? It means commitment, guys. Actually, I'm gonna finish on this point. This is a really important point. It means commitment. Can I ask all of you a question? Who here has a pet or any dependents, right? Maybe a child, maybe an older parents. Okay, everyone has someone that, okay. On those days where you're really depressed, you don't feed them? I'm curious to know. I want to know. On those days where you're like really having a bad day, you're like, you know what, doggy? You pee on your own time, buddy. I want to know. I actually want to know because maybe I'm doing it wrong.
No.
If you have kids and you're having a really bad day, you're just pissed off, upset. You know what, kids? You raise yourself for the rest of the week. I'm done. Is that what happens?
Yes.
It doesn't happen, Adam. If it did happen, they would take your kids away. Okay? But why doesn't it happen with those cases? Because you made a commitment, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. But when it comes to your business, as soon as you don't feel like it, well, whatever. Because your feelings are more relevant than your business and results are. See, your dependents are the most relevant thing in your life. They're so no matter how you feel, this is still priority. No matter how bad your day is, this is still your priority. But when it comes to the business, when it comes to doing some of those tasks that right now don't give you instant gratification, they give you delayed gratification, your feelings are so relevant. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yes.
So the only way to change is to make your feelings irrelevant. That's how I changed. I promise you, I have many days where I don't feel like doing anything. Do you think every Wednesday I feel like coming here and giving you energy and making jokes? No, I promise you I don't. But guess what? My feelings are irrelevant to my commitments. My feelings are irrelevant to my commitments. You know what irrelevant means? It means they don't fit in the equation. Some of you go, I woke up today, I feel good, I'm gonna do business. Some of you go, I woke up today, I don't feel good, I'm not gonna do business. What I'm telling you is my feelings are not a part of this equation. It's I woke up today, I got commitments, I'm gonna do my commitments. Does that make sense? My equation is different than your equation, that's it. That's a leader. A leader's equation is commitment, that's it. What are we doing today? My commitments. You know, there's days where I feel stressed, okay? There's a lot going on. Trust me, when you're running a big business, guys, some days you have those days, yes or no? Okay. Yeah. I don't sit there and go, oh my God, I'm so stressed. I'm just gonna cancel all my meetings. Actually, let me give you an example of today. Today, guys, I felt overwhelmed. I didn't tell myself I felt overwhelmed, but I'm telling you now, okay? There was a lot of stuff I needed to do. I had done a bad job with my productivity the last couple of days. Something's built up. Make sense? So here was the constant thought that was coming in my head. Cancel that meeting. Nah. Cancel that meeting. Nah. The devil kept trying to convince me to cancel my meetings because I felt overwhelmed. I felt like there's too much to do. You know what I said? I said, dude, shut the hell up. I got myself in this situation. I'm going to get myself out of it. And I'm not going to do it by letting go of my camera. So I said, here's what we're going to do now. I'm going to sit down here. I can give myself 5 minutes. I'm going to sit down here and go, while I wrote down my gratitude list. Okay, because I'm like, I got to reduce this stress so I can make some good decisions now. I did the gratitude list, did the breathing, my stress levels started to go down. Then I put on some music, I danced, and then I did my affirmations, and then I was like, okay, what's the right thing to do here? I'm like, okay, here's what we do. What is it that I need to do? Took out a paper, went back to my to-do list as well. Okay, I can get all this done, and I can do the meeting. Let's do the meeting. I kept all my meetings, and I got everything done, and here we are right now, and I'm doing the training for you.
Yes.
You don't need to clap for me. I'm just doing my job.
You did great.
And by the way, I'm not gonna clap for you if you do that because you're just doing your job. Seriously, it's called your job. Just like how a parent's job is to be a parent when they don't feel like it, your job is to do your business when you don't feel like it because you have a commitment to your business.
Yes.
It's that simple. There's no clapping. This is just the reality of it. I'm just teaching you how I was able to reduce my stress levels because I couldn't afford not to keep my commitments. You go, what do you mean you can't afford it? I thought you make $1 million a year. The reason I make $1 million a year is because I can't afford to not do my commitments.
Yes.
I would be making $50,000 a year if my feelings were a part of the equation.
Yes.
But the only thing in that equation is my commitments. And if I need to do those tasks to get myself at a level where I can stick to my commitments, I'll do it. My question is, what about you? That's my question. Because I was talking to a team member today, and yesterday she messaged me. She's like, oh, I'm having a really bad day. Like, can you call me and stuff? I said, look, it's a little bit late right now. I can call you tomorrow, but watch this video tonight. It's going to make you feel a lot better. And then tomorrow we can chat and we'll work it out. She goes, okay, awesome. I call her today. Why do I call her today, by the way? Because I made a commitment.
Yeah.
Make sense? That's why I called. Because I made a commitment. No other reason. I'm not making money from that phone call. I just called because it's my commitment and I care about that person. Okay. So I called them. And my first question was, how did you like the video? I didn't watch it. Interesting. And I said, isn't it weird? Wouldn't it be weird if somebody comes and tells you they have a headache and you give them Advil and they just stare at the Advil? That's a nice Advil. I like that pill. Wouldn't that be weird?
Yes.
She goes, yeah, it's weird. I'm like, it's weird that I gave you a medication, but you didn't take it. And I go, what do you expect me to say to you on this call? You expect me to motivate you? Listen, you're a very smart person. You're an adult, okay? And as a smart adult, you should never wait for someone to fix you. You've been coming to our trainings for 3 months. You have a lot of tools. And then I went off. I said, did you do your gratitude list? You were stressed last night. Did you do your breathing and gratitude list? No, I didn't. Okay, great. Did you put music on and move your body and then do your affirmations? No, I didn't. I said, can I ask what tool you use to better yourself so you can have a good night and have a good morning today? I use none of them. I said, oh, and she went, well, you don't understand. I just don't feel good. I go, oh shit, no way. I didn't know you didn't feel good. Thank you for telling me that right away. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go sit down with your son right now and say, son, if you don't feel good, you don't have to go to school tomorrow. Will you do that? Because I go, your life philosophy is very interesting. I admire your life philosophy. Why don't you go get your loved ones to do the same thing? Because if your life philosophy is, I don't feel good, so I'm not going to do anything, then that should apply to your son. It should apply to your husband. It should apply to everyone that you love. So go to your son and say, son, if you don't feel like going to school, you're a little bit depressed, don't go to school. I went through depression when I was 14. I went to school every day. My Persian parents did not understand depression. Like that was not part of their equation. Like, oh, you're depressed. Go be depressed in school while you're in class. Does that make sense? But imagine, by the way, I've been through depression. I know how hard depression is. I know it is. But let me ask you a question. Has that ever gone on your CRA document when you're doing your taxes?
No.
I would love to pay these taxes, but I'm depressed. Thank you. I don't know. You were gonna pay your rent, but you call your landlord like, I know I was supposed to pay rent. and I'm depressed. Thank you. I get it, it's tough, but you still got to do your commitments. Does that make sense? I totally get that it's tough, but you got to do your commitments. And if you train your mind that if it doesn't feel like it, you're just going to be at its mercy, your mind will abuse you. But if you teach your mind that, hey, I don't feel like going to the gym, but I have control over my body and I can walk to the gym and I'm going to because it's going to make me feel better. Now you're taking control. Does that make sense? So the message here is very simple. You have to take control. Take control of your life and yourself. And in order to do that, some of these habits are going to really help you out. So here's what I want you guys to do. And then we're going to finish off because we're over time. Write down 3 things you learned from today's session. And then I'm going to go over one last thing with you guys and then we're done. But write down 3 things that you've learned in this session so far that you're going to apply to better your productivity and time management this week. Just this week. You don't need to do it forever. But just try for this week and see how it works for you. Write down 3 things that you picked up. Maybe it's a to-do list. Maybe it's bulking your tasks. Maybe it's having better self-talk around your time management. Maybe it's valuing your time more effectively. Maybe it's turning off notifications on your social media. Check mine though. Check my profile. Right? We gave a lot of tips today. Which ones are you going to use? I want you to go over that. Okay, I want to finish off with this. I want to read this to you guys as a very, very important reminder. And I think this reminder, this book that I have, that I'm going to read this page from, I can't tell you for how long I would wake up and I would just read 2-3 pages of it and it would put me in such a good state. But I want to read it for you if that's okay. Okay? Yeah. Seek failure. This is from a book called U Squared. The individual is Dr. I forget his name now. If that was some Price Richard, right? Dr. Price Richard. Pritchett. Dr. Price Pritchett, sorry. Okay, I wanted to read to you guys. This book is designed for success. It's a formula for success, okay? He says, seek failure. Quantum leaps demand a willingness to make mistakes. You cannot hold up in the safe zone of behavior where you have beaten the odds of failing. An unwillingness to encounter defeat or run into problems outlaws quantum leaps. Unless you allow yourself to make mistakes, to fail, you will never have the opportunity to test the limits of what you truly are capable of accomplishing. You must realize that if you're experiencing no difficulties, no problems, or pain, you probably have aimed too low. You've leveled off in your growth and achievement. You probably are far from reaching your limits. So think of problems or pain or slippage in performance as a positive sign. A performance lag ordinarily occurs the very outset when you are making a quantum leap. Darkest right before dawn, yes or no? Yeah. It's the pause which you poise for the jump. The temporary loss of momentum that occurs in the process of changing gears. Failure is a resource. It helps you find the edge of your capacities. You deliberately destabilize yourself when you break out of the habit patterns that represent the status quo. You create some inner chaos for yourself. So be prepared for the possibility of confusion, anxiety, and failure. This is part of the process of success, guys. If you're feeling this, you're on the right track. That's part of opening yourself up to a new methodology that has the potential to deliver exponential performance gains. So often in life, it seems things first get worse on the way towards getting better. Darkest right before dawn, yes or no? Yes. Be prepared for that sort of development. Problems belong in the process. They are part of the equation that produces U squared. They are not proof that your ambitions are futile or that you should give up. As someone has said, everything looks like failure in the middle. You can't bake a cake without getting the kitchen messy. Halfway through surgery, it looks like there's been a murder in the operating room. If you send a rocket toward the moon, about 90% of the time it's off course. It fails its way to the moon by continually making mistakes and correcting them. Is this hitting home for some of you?
Yes.
At the outset, you may feel high because going for the quantum leap is heady stuff. But then the hard reality of problems may slap you in the face. Progress often masquerades as trouble. It's easy to lose faith because other people may withdraw their support and be critical of your efforts. That plus your own anxieties and uncertainties can tempt you to turn on yourself. Anyone here been through that?
Yes.
100%, right?
Yeah.
This is the crucial point in the process. Don't give up. Don't give up. Failure belongs here. It's a sign of progress. The stress will seduce you towards retreat, to the safety of the status quo, the trap of the familiar. Just remember this. Failure does not mean you are defeated. Actually, the struggle gives you strength. It's like tempering the steel or the soreness involved in developing muscle. The difficulties are just evidence that you are learning and progressing. So go looking for failure. What have I said to you guys before? The reason I grew fast was because I failed way more than everyone else.
Yeah.
I ran towards failure, then I ran away from it. And then use it. Don't interpret problems or breakdowns as a proof that you should quit, but instead take them as evidence of your growth and improvement. Failure is a resource. It helps you find the edge of your capacities. Good?
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. Hope that helped. Bye-bye. See you later.